Hello, Summoners, and welcome to First Aid Gaming Network, where I cover some gaming tips for League of Legends, do some Let's Plays, and etc. In this video, what I'm going to do is cover Lux in the support role. If you're new here, thank you for subscribing and liking this video, and let's get started. Now I'm going to cover this video in a couple phases. I'm going to talk about the early game, mid game, and late game. As you could see with Lux, she has quite a bit of engage power. I play rather aggressively. That's just my play style. You might play a little bit passively, but this guide should help you with either way you like to play. So, starting out with the early game, you pick your starting items and head to bot lane. You take some vision and put it down wherever you feel best, and we'll talk more about warding in a little bit. Next, you want to camp some bushes. What I like to do is sit in a bush close to the tower, and then I even try to go to the opponent's side because I'm super confident in my aggressive playstyle with Lux. I also like to ward the bush closer to the opponent's side, and when they go to ward the bush, I can throw a Q and an auto for some free harass. I personally don't like to waste the Q because sometimes they like to engage, but what I do is I like to take in and get them with the E as well. I'd use them very sparingly because mana is definitely a resource which Lux just eats up. I like to get early kills, but you usually don't have to because you want to keep the opponent ADC from farming, so I'd like to do a lot of poking as well. Next, you want to learn how to throw some combos out. A pretty decent one is you throw Q, you hit an auto attack after your passive is active, throw E, then you do another with a reapplied passive with your auto. And this will do a lot of damage, even if your ADC doesn't want to help. If you don't have time to throw autos, then you could land a Q. If you don't want to land a Q, you could throw an E as well, if you have the mana to spare. You could harass your opponents enough, they might have to go back and risk getting killed, or the ADC, you could push them out of lane. Now, if you're getting zoned, from you harassing, make sure that you always have vision of the enemy support. You do not want to worry about the jungle vision as much if you are pushed under tower, unless you and your ADC are both low enough that a 3-person dive could kill you. Just play passively, shield your ADC when they're being harassed, and if your opponent tries to initiate on you on your ADC, then you can snare. Okay, now let's cover the mid game. Mid game, it depends on your elo. I would say from iron all the way to about gold. Basically, there's two main strategies here at this point. You extend the laning phase and you split push, or the most common suggestion is they go all mid and finish. You just want to support your team. If they fight, do the Q-E-R-E combo at as many members of your opponent's team. Try to hit at least 2 of them with your ult to chunk them. Don't save your kit for sniping on a kill on 1 person if you can set up a kill for 2 instead. I'm pretty bad at that. If you watch my stream, you see me kind of just snipe out a kill or 2 just to kind of make it, in my mentality, a 4v5 or a 3v5. So in team fights, what do? Well, you stand all the way in the back. Look at where your tank is, and if you could theoretically hit your tank with a Q, you are far enough away. Stay there and wait until someone starts the fight, then throw your combo. This is for you. This is advice for you. Sometimes I like to initiate with Q myself because my team usually plays pretty skittish. They don't like to engage a lot, and what I've learned is that Q is a pretty good engage. That's the end of that game. Let's go to the next. If you are in an area with multiple ways to get you, like in the jungle, ward the entrances around you if you have the spare wards. Tip, never push alone. Even if you have a ton of wards, if you push hard, the opponent's team can easily get behind you and trap you between them and their base. I wouldn't even advise pushing with just you and your ADC because neither of you are tanky. If you are both super fed though, split pushing could be great, assuming your ADC can like 2v3 or 2v4 versus 5 at worst the opponent's team. Believe it or not, some games you might get ahead enough. That's usually what happens to me when I play Lux support. Try to encourage your team to do the all mid win strategy because your range makes you pretty good in sieges. If you catch somebody with your Q, throw the QERE combo, you can do some serious damage while taking like literally nothing. If you push hard enough, it also keeps opponents who are winning lanes from pushing further since they'll have to go back and defend or risk a bad trade, since a 4 to 5 can usually push harder and faster than 1. Now we reach late game. This usually doesn't happen as a note in the really higher elos. If you're watching this, this is assuming that you're in gold and below. But you know you're in the late game when everybody is near full build and more than 2 people dying can cost you the entire game. What you want to do as Lux support is stick to your team like glue. Make sure that your ADC does the same. If you have a split pusher, let him do his job. But if one of your team goes to split push, the rest of you guys need to go on another lane and pressure it so the opponent's team can't go all top and kill him without losing anything in return. This is super effective if your split pusher, say Tryndamere, can easily 1v1 anybody they send up, forcing them to send 2 or more to deal with that split push. Listen, you must stay alive. Once you get to late game, your death timer will be long enough that more than 2 or 3 players on your team dying is a loss. Don't be one of those dead players. Never face check bushes. Encourage your team never to do the same. And exercise the appropriate amount of caution depending on what champs your opponents are playing. You want to be extra careful against like a Thresh, Blitz, Leona, anyone that could really like hook your team. What you want to do is also try to encourage a team fight. Your opponent's team is clumped, you can do a combo and chunk them. Also, since you will be near full build, if you catch them, if you catch their carry, you can kill them. Hopefully at this point your team can clean up. Win the game or grab Baron. Don't get Baron tunnel vision. If you can end the game, just end it. I know it's cool to have that Baron buff, but just trust me with this one. That being said, if you haven't pushed hard enough to be able to end, even after ace, grabbing Baron and then taking inhibs is the next best thing. No matter what you do, don't get complacent, even if you smashed your opponents in lane before. Not that they are nearing full build. Now that they are nearing full build, they can pose a great threat regardless. Pay attention, keep out playing. Now there are tips for climbing through bronze. I'll do this section pretty quick. Don't flame. Flaming doesn't achieve anything. Here's a best tip / mute all. Don't just pick what you want every game. I am the one-trick pony champion, but it's better to pick something your team needs instead of your favorite pick. You have to have a decent champ pool, use Discord whenever possible, and take a break. I'm excited now because preseason is here. There's new dragons. Winning bot lane is more important than ever because of those dragons, and placing wards early on them just in case the opponent's jungler tries to take one early. Anyways, let's practice, practice, and practice. Now this ends the segment for the Lux support guide. If you liked this video, please, of course, send it a like, but also comment on what other types of videos you'd like to see. Now for the future of this channel, what I'm going to go into for these next couple minutes here is what my plans are for 2020. What I'm going to be doing is creating more Lux content. I'm going to be also creating more content for League of Legends. I'm also going to break up the monotony of League of Legends with adding in some other gameplay as well. So you'll see some gameplay from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and some other like Let's Play, especially as new games come out. I'm definitely going to do The Last of Us Part 2 and some other things. Now, if you want to also keep in mind, if you watch to the end of this video, I will also be explaining how we're going to be doing some giveaways. This year is going to be crazy. I know you play League of Legends and you want some awesome skins to kind of flex on your opponents, but they can get really, really expensive, right? So what I'm going to be doing is doing a skin giveaway rather soon as we start to reach some Patreon subscribers, and also my subscribers here on YouTube kind of grow. So if you're interested in that, please follow me on Twitter at First Aid. That's my Twitter handle. You can also follow me at first.aid and Instagram. That will also keep you up to date with that. You should be also seeing a couple things going on the Patreon account as well. But you don't have to be a subscriber to win this first round. So we'll go into how to enter and win as well. Well, that adds to the conclusion of this video. If you liked it, like I said, please send a like, comment on the video as well. I'll go into more guides for some League of Legends, and I'll just end here with us sieging another base with my Lux support. Oh, before I end, I do want to make a shameless plug here to my twitch.tv/firstaid, F1RSTA1D. You follow me there, subscribe to the channel as well for more gameplay, and whenever I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at about 10 p.m. Follow my Twitter because it does sporadically change because I do have a little baby. So bye now, and thanks for watching.